Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. It's me again. It's me, your favorite YouTuber, and I'm here to talk about Doctor Who and the Doctor Who role-playing game, the Doctor Who D&D I call it. And sorry for the bad mic quality, but just imagine I'm your professor at a college campus. You know what? You even call me the professor, and I'll get to why. What is Doctor Who? It's supposed to be an educational series, premiered in 1963. He would basically go through time, showing you like the Romans, the Egyptians, cavemen, and teaching you about it. It was supposed to be educational, but quickly evolved into like, hey, we're fighting aliens now. They had a movie in 1996, and they were rebooted in 2005, and it's still been going strong. Now, what does the Doctor do? Travels across space and time, alone or with companions. He'll show people planets they've never seen before, like aliens they've never even could have imagined. And the one thing the Doctor does is help. The Doctor helps whoever is in trouble and is always trusting, never uses guns, and basically is what his name is, the Doctor. And follows the rules of time sometimes. There's been episodes where he takes Vincent van Gogh in the future and shows him how great his artwork is. He, transported his ship to the beginning of Earth's time, which was like the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs. And one episode, he was on the same bus that Rosa Parks was on. And his companions were sitting in the seats, and the Doctor tells them, hey, don't get up. This has to happen. It's kind of wild. The Doctor's a Time Lord, born on Gallifrey, the Keeper's a Time, and why are there so many? Well, they have 12 regenerations. If they're about to die, they can basically have a new body, but they're the same being. And each Time Lord has like a name. The Doctor, the Professor, the Corsair, the Master, the Ronnie. We'll talk about that in a bit. Who's the first Doctor? William Hartnell. This guy, a rude dude. But he was fun. They were kind of figuring out what they were trying to do, and they made him an alien. Regenerated Patrick Troughton. Silly guy. He was just silly. He was always silly and doing weird, silly things. John Pertwee. Very ingenuity. Would build things, help people, kind of understood more about Earthlings, because his first season, he was trapped on Earth. Tom Baker had the longest run and was the most fun, brought out kind of like this new young energy for the Doctor, even though the more incarnations we go, the older he gets. Peter Davison, I don't have much to say about him. I thought he was alright. I didn't care about him that much, but he had a pretty interesting style with that celery on him, or whatever that is. Colin Baker, this dude was sassy to any being that came to him. He was always just funny. He was rude, but not like the first Doctor. He was funny rude. I like him, and I know he's a very kind of controversial because not a lot of people like him. Sylvester McCoy. Don't know much about him. I just remember he was weird. I didn't care for his seasons because he was just like an odd guy, but he had a lot of interesting companions. Paul McGann. Interesting. Have not seen the movie yet. I still need to. But basically brought this kind of like American cool guy feel to him. And it made Americans interested in Doctor Who. The War Doctor. Now this Doctor basically fought in the war for his planet and did some unspeakable things. But those are spoilers. Christopher Eccleston came back as the new Doctor in 2005. Showed this new suave, egotistical, fresh from the war that he just fought. David Tennant, oh my goodness, one of the best doctors to ever exist. Caring, loving, so cool, so great speeches, and so fun. Matt Smith, oh my, it's the guy from Morbius. No, he had great monologues. He basically just said, whatever, like whoever, whatever you are, come at me. I'm the Doctor. And he brought this very fresh feel that was like, hey, I'm fun, but don't mess with me. And he'd always have something like, oh, fezzes are cool, oh, Stetsons are cool. And he was very like all over the place. Peter Capaldi, he brought back that old Who feel, that because he was an older guy, but he grew up watching Doctor Who, and he brought back an old feel and was very just, he had the kind of like the patience of the old doctors, but the funness of the younger people who played the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker, she was robbed. The writing was bad, and I feel so bad for her. But she was fun. She was quirky. She was very also all over the place, very Matt Smithy, where she was kind of just, oh look at this, oh look at this, oh look at this, oh hey, don't do that. David Tennant, why are you back again? Get out of here. No, he came back as the 14th Doctor. And whoa, 13th, 14th. Why did he have so many regenerations? Well, during the 11 Doctors run, he got even more regenerations because the Time Lords gave it to him as a gift. But also spoilers. And why do I say he's kind of the current Doctor? Well, Chudi Gatwa. I hope I pronounced his name right. This man is so fun to watch on screen, and he's so caring. His episodes have been very interesting so far. They brought back an old villain for him to face, and honestly, it is very cool watching this guy on screen. He's so fun. And then we got this fugitive doctor. This was a concept added in during Jodie Whittaker's time, and technically the first doctor we see is not the first doctor, but it's whatever. I do not care. But she did an interesting job of playing the doctor. This is the doctor's spaceship, basically. It travels with time and space. It disguises itself as anything in the area they're in. But it's always stuck as a police box because it got stuck that way in the 1960s when the doctor landed in London. It's bigger on the inside, has a whole bunch of rooms, bedrooms, pool, like library, and it's also a living being. The core is alive. The Doctor also has gadgets. The sonic screwdriver was introduced in the third Doctor's run, and it's a signature tool. It works on anything, hacks, scans, does everything. It has different incarnations, just like the Doctor, but it's the same software. It does everything the same. Whoa. The psychic paper. Basically, he'll show it to someone and be like, hey, like I'm blah, blah, blah. And the person goes, oh, okay, but it doesn't work on someone that has like a strong mind. This is the fob watch. He can put his DNA in this to basically hide himself from any being that is like, hey, we know where you are, we know who you are. And it's used once in the series. And it's very interesting because he takes on the persona of a man named John Smith. Here are some of his companions. Rose Tyler. She was the first one of the new Doctor Who. She's fun, she's interesting. They keep bringing her back for a lot of stuff because she's so important to the Doctor. Adric, he was hated by everyone, and when he, but he was also one of the only companions to actually pass in the show, and it was a very sad episode. Ian, this guy was the first companion of the Doctor, along with the Doctor's granddaughter, which she disappears later. He kind of just leaves her behind somewhere because she's happy, and it was more focused on him because they wanted the show to more be about the humans learning about the time periods they're in. But he is interesting, and he's always arguing with the Doctor. We got some side companions. The potato guy. His wife, which is also two of his companions' daughters, which is confusing. And Jabba the Hutt. I need to add James Corden in here. He was okay. He was actually not bad. I will admit he's not bad, but it's James Corden. Here's some of the enemies he faces. The Daleks. The Daleks basically are these supreme beings, well, they believe they are, that want to exterminate the entire universe so they can reign over. There's the Master. It's another Time Lord that is best friends and mortal enemies with the Doctor. And this is the Silence. Basically, you look at it, it talks to you, you look away, you forget it, but it influences your decisions. And we got these things as well. The Autons, the Adipose, the Slithines, and that thing with the faces, and does not matter. And we got some out of context, so we'll just watch. Whoa. And that is his daughter is in there. Are you pregnant? Don't look at. This is the first one. He's getting hit on. Yes, you are.
There's a strange man in my bedroom.
Yes, there is.
Where anything could happen.
No.
And this show is just weird. It's funny. It doesn't make sense here. Let's watch this clip real quick. What is this show? So let's go to the Doctor Who D&D. Very simple game, very interesting. We'll go to the first one. How to play. You need at least 2d6s. You need to combine your attribute and skill and distinctions of any, and we will get to that in a little bit. You got to add a background, make your character with your focus and your distinctions, and you play your character and stay true to them. And if you do that, you get story points. You start off with 12, but we'll get to that too. Basically, it's how you play the game. Hey, I want this to happen. Hey, I want this to happen. Well, spend a story point, and you can do it. But I can also grant you, well, whoever's in charge can grant you more points. And you have a gadget as well if you want, and that costs you story points, so you have to lower your cap. So background. A singular word that describes your character. Are you a healer? Are you a soldier? What are you? What is your focus? Personal experience. Well, I survived a car crash. Oh, well, I won the Nobel Prize. Use that for your character, and you can recall the experience to gain more points on a roll. A shared experience. Every character that you're with, like every person you're playing with, you're connected in some way. And that can be decided amongst you. Maybe you shared the bus with one of the characters. Maybe you saw them jogging one day. Questions to ask when you're building your character. Where and when are you from? What's your family like? Childhood? What have you done in your past? Who are your best friends? What do you wish you could change? Best, worst memories, biggest secret, biggest fear. And you need to create long and short term goals that your character has. Attributes. What are attributes? Well, you start with 18 points, but if you want to be an alien, you can be. 22 points, but it costs story points if you want to kind of build your character that way. You can save points as well to put in skills. We'll get to that in a little bit. Awareness. It's like your perception. I'm going to use D&D terms. How aware you are of the area. Coordination. Dexterity. Are you going to be able to make this jump? Are you clumsy? What are you? Ingenuity. Your intelligence. How smart are you? Can you build something? Can you decipher something? What can you do? Your presence. It's the charisma. It's the charm. It's the, hey, I'm right here and I'm talking. And your resolve. It's your health, it's your constitution, it's you can brace yourself from physical or mental attacks. And your strength. Basically, it's, how hard can you hit? Skills. What are skills? You get 18 points, but certain skills can add a specialization. But you need to use one of those 18 points if you want that specialization. So let's say you're good at history. What kind of history you're good at? Add a skill point and you get bonus on a roll like that. You got your athletics, running, jumping, swimming. That's a specialization you can use. Conflict, boxing, maybe guns, psychic defense, convince, fast talk, charm, lying. Crafting, you can build, you can sing, you're artsy. Knowledge, what history you know, what language you know, what cultures you know. Medicine, are you good at surgery? Are you good at diseases like wounds? What do you know how to do with medicine? Let's continue. Science, are you good at math, chemistry, astrophysicist, subterfuge, sneaking, lock picking, gambling? Are you like a sneaky fella? Survival, are you good in space areas, desert areas, mountain areas, maybe aquatic areas? How good are you in your specific field? Technology, you're good with computers, good at hacking, good at repairing things. And transport, are you good at driving stuff? Do you maybe know people that can drive things? Like, what are you good at? Example. Let's start with an example. An alien needs surgery, and you have to do it. So maybe the DM, me, I decide, okay, since this is an alien, you got to be careful. So coordination plus your medicine. You basically add those 2 points, what you've decided on your points that you've added to it, add a roll with your d6s, and depending on what is, if you pass with a 1 or a 6, if you pass with a 1, like a small weird thing happens, maybe like a random thing. If it's a 6, something really good happens. If you fail with a 1, it's like, oh dang, you are going to be like real bad. Maybe you're trying to open a door and you get locked in the room. Even worse. If you fail with a 6, it's kind of like, oh, well, nothing too bad happened to you. Now here are some races. You can be any single thing in the game. This is the Jadoon, a mercenary police force. They're logical but stupid, and they speak like blow, mo, jo, ko, bo, to. It's interesting. But, we could maybe you have a translator and you can speak English. Who knows? But they are tough warriors that are logical. The Zygons, they can shapeshift, but they have to keep their host alive. They use venoms, and they have electric bolts that can either stun someone or just destroy their entire being. The Ice Warrior, they have a strict code of honor. They'll cause great wars, but like if they see a flower dying, it is a sad thing. They're also reptilians. They're cold-blooded. Here's a character sheet example. So we got the Doctor here. Concept, the Doctor. That's their whole thing. Their focus is kindness. They want to be kind. They want to help people. Now they only got 3 story points because they're a Time Lord. They're experienced in a whole lot of things. Sonic Screwdriver, which costs the story points, and basically a pretty overpowered character. But that's why the story points have been reduced to a 3 instead of a 12. And here are all your skills, and you use that to play the game and to go through the game. Here's a blank character sheet, which I will be sending to the people I'll be playing with if they want to play. And the concept I have for this game, for the session I want to do, we're going to travel through time and space, go anywhere and everywhere. We're going to choose a time in history or an alien planet. So you choose where you want to go. In each session, we will go to that period of time or the planet. And you can even say like, well, I want to see an ice planet, and I can find something. Each session will showcase like the whole universe of Doctor Who. Maybe a character will be added, a companion, an enemy. We'll see. And you have to showcase, you have to get in the role play of the game. And you get more story points, which you can use. And each session will kind of have a different theme. Doctor Who has different episodes. Maybe one's a love story. Maybe one's a horror, like a horror episode. Scary things are happening. Maybe one's more of a lighthearted comedy. Maybe one is showing a man that he's more than he actually is. And that's pretty much Doctor Who. I don't know. If this video does well, I'll do another one. If my friends want to play, we can play. But I just wanted to make this little video, just a little fun thing. Thanks for watching.